Let's dive into the wildest war story you've probably never heard. The Anglo-Zanzibar War. A conflict so short, you could have missed it while brewing a cup of tea. Zanzibar, a paradise on the edge of history. Picture it, Zanzibar, a tropical jewel off the east coast of Africa. Palm trees, spice markets, and the heady aroma of cloves in the air. In the late 19th century, it was a sought-after prize by the British Empire because of its strategic location. But it wasn't all sunshine and coconuts. It was also a melting pot of political intrigue, power struggles, and simmering tensions. Zanzibar was ruled by a sultan, and the British had their claws deep into the island's politics. They had set up a friendly sultan, Hamad bin Thuwaini, on the throne, who was more than happy to keep things running smoothly under British oversight. But as all good things come to an end, in 1896, Sultan Hamad suddenly died. Now some said he died of natural causes, but rumors flew that he might have been poisoned. Enter Sultan Khalid, the rebel with a throne. Here's where it gets spicy. Before the British could blink, Khalid bin Bargash, the Sultan's cousin, bolted into the palace, declared himself the new Sultan, and locked the doors behind him. The British were not amused. They had their eye on another candidate who would toe the imperial line. Khalid, on the other hand, had zero interest in British puppetry. He wanted to rule Zanzibar on his own terms. So the British sent Khalid a polite little note. Imagine a butler-type voice saying, "Excuse me, sir, but we can't help but notice you've occupied the palace without our approval. Please vacate the premises by 9 a.m. on August 27, 1896, or there will be consequences." Khalid's response? A very unsubtle, "Yeah, no thanks, I'm good." The shortest war in history begins. At this point, the British were ready to take things to the next level. They anchored 3 warships in the harbor, loaded with guns aimed directly at the palace. Khalid, not one to back down, scrambled to gather about 2,800 troops, including his personal bodyguards and a ragtag group of civilians. Oh, and he had 1 cannon, probably as old as the island itself, and a royal yacht that he decided to park in front of the palace, just for good measure. The British, meanwhile, were looking at their watches. It's almost 9 a.m. Is this guy serious? And at exactly 9:02 a.m., the British opened fire. Boom! The first shells hit the palace, splintering the wooden structure like matchsticks. The royal yacht? Blown to bits within minutes. Khalid's forces, vastly outgunned, started to fall apart. I mean, he had spears and a rusty old cannon. The British had state-of-the-art warships. Not exactly a fair fight. To give you a sense of how absurdly short this war was, by 9:40 a.m., 38 minutes later, the whole thing was over. The palace was in ruins. Khalid had fled out the back door like a kid ditching school, and the British had installed their preferred sultan on the throne by lunchtime. The aftermath. Khalid's great escape, and what happened to Khalid? Well, in true cinematic fashion, he escaped to the German consulate, where he was given asylum. The British were fuming but couldn't touch him because the Germans were like, "Nah, he's with us now." Khalid eventually made his way to German East Africa, where he lived out his days under close watch, plotting his next move, which, spoiler alert, never came to fruition. The casualties, in total, the Anglo-Zanzibar War saw about 500 casualties on Khalid's side, mostly due to the British bombardment. The British? They suffered exactly 1 wounded sailor. Yes, just 1. A guy who probably stubbed his toe while firing a cannon or something. A war shorter than your coffee break, so there you have it. The shortest war in history, clocking in at less than 40 minutes. It was a mix of imperial power flexing, tropical island drama, and one man's ill-fated grab for power. In the grand scheme of things, it was a blip on the radar of history. But what a blip it was. I mean, some people have spent more time stuck in traffic than it took to decide the fate of an entire sultanate. If you enjoyed learning these wild facts, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible history content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.